Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So let's just dive right into this. Today we are looking at an economic phenomenon that is quietly, yet forcefully, completely reshaping the global landscape. We're talking about the wellness economy. This is a movement that has exploded so massively, it's literally rewriting how we live, how we work, and how we spend our money. We aren't just talking about a few boutique yoga studios or niche skincare brands anymore. We are unpacking a staggering, multi-trillion-dollar shift in human behavior and priorities. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover a multi-trillion-dollar boom, proactive versus reactive health, the global wellness leaders, real estate and mental health, and finally, the drivers of the wellness economy.
All right, Section 1, a multi-trillion-dollar boom. This is a massive global shift. Get this, according to the 2025 Global Wellness Economy Monitor, this industry just hit a brand new peak of $6.8 trillion in 2024. Yep, that's trillion with a T. It actually grew by almost 8% from the year before, and believe it or not, it has completely doubled in size since 2013. Talk about bouncing back from the pandemic, right? It came back roaring. To really wrap our heads around that 6.8 trillion number, it means the wellness economy is now officially larger than the IT, pharmaceuticals, tourism, and sports industries combined. I mean, let that sink in for a second. This is absolutely not just some passing trend anymore. It's a dominant global heavyweight, representing over 6% of the entire global GDP. And it's consistently growing faster than the global economy itself.
And honestly, it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. With a projected annual growth rate of 7.6%, which, by the way, totally blows past the IMF's global GDP growth forecast of just 4.5%, we are hurtling toward a jaw-dropping $9.8 trillion by the year 2029. We're looking at a near $10 trillion economy built entirely around how we feel, how we function, and how we live our day-to-day lives.
Moving on to Section 2, proactive health. This is a true medical paradigm shift.
So think about traditional healthcare. It's fundamentally reactive, right? It's focused on treating diseases and fixing problems after they crop up. You get sick, you go to a doctor. But the wellness economy, it flips that completely on its head. It is totally proactive and driven by the consumer. It's all about managing your health daily so you hopefully don't get sick in the first place. And this philosophical shift, moving from treating illness to actively optimizing our physical, mental, and social health, that's the absolute foundation of this trillion-dollar boom.
Okay, Section 3, Wellness Leaders. Let's look at the top 5 global markets.
When we look at the heavyweights, it's the major economic powers leading the charge. We've got the United States sitting at a massive $2.1 trillion, followed by China at $950 billion, Germany at $281 billion, Japan at $262 billion, and the UK right there at $261 billion. But the real standout here? Just look at how disproportionately massive the U.S. market is. The United States alone gobbles up nearly 32% of the entire global wellness economy. It's huge.
What's really fascinating, though, is how concentrated and resilient these markets are. The top 25 markets account for 86% of the whole global pie, and pretty much all of these top 25 nations have totally blown past their pre-pandemic sizes. Plus, those top 5 we just mentioned, the US, China, Germany, Japan, and the UK, their rankings actually haven't changed at all since 2019. It just shows how incredibly entrenched and stable this demand really is.
All right, let's get into Section 4, real estate and mind. These are the fastest growing sectors.
Now, if I were to ask you to guess the fastest growing wellness sectors, you'd probably say, I don't know, personal care, beauty, maybe fitness apps. But actually, the reality is a huge surprise. The biggest leaps aren't in traditional fitness at all. Wellness real estate is just exploding, averaging a 19.5% annual growth rate between 2019 and 2024. And right on its heels is mental wellness, growing at 12.4% a year. So the most aggressive growth is actually happening in the physical environments we live in and in our psychological care. So what exactly is wellness real estate? Basically, it's living and workspaces specifically designed with things like eco-friendly materials, optimal indoor air quality, and tons of natural light to proactively boost our daily health. You see, after the pandemic, we all had this stark, kind of harsh realization about just how deeply our indoor environments impact our overall health. Now, people flat out expect the places where they sleep, live, and work to actually be inherently beneficial to their well-being. And that expectation has turned wellness real estate into a massive core industry.
Which brings us to Section 5, economy drivers. Let's look behind the trillions.
I want you to really think about this for a second.
Why the sudden, explosive boom in these specific sectors right now? What is happening in our society right at this moment that makes us want to pour nearly $7 trillion into proactively managing our lives and our physical spaces?
Well, there are two major shifts going on. First, the whole health paradigm is changing. People want to manage their health every single day through better sleep, better nutrition, and exercise. Second, the global population is getting older. By 2030, 1 in 6 people globally will be 60 or older. And this senior demographic, they have way more financial resources and much higher health literacy than previous generations. They're not just sitting around waiting to get sick. They're affluent and they're investing heavily in proactive longevity to maximize their quality of life.
But there's a much more immediate, day-to-day driver here too. When you look at keyword data from BofA Data Analytics, that massive 12.4% annual spike in mental wellness is surrounded by search terms like screen time, tech addiction, digital eye strain, burnout, social isolation, and information overload. I love this because it perfectly connects the cold, hard financial data to our actual reality. It humanizes the numbers. It shows us exactly why the mental wellness sector is taking off. These are our modern, everyday struggles. Ultimately, these trillions of dollars are a direct response to those modern societal struggles. These massive booms in mental wellness and wellness real estate, they aren't just random consumer fads. They are literally the financial manifestations of our collective exhaustion, our tech addiction, and our digital fatigue. People are spending trillions just to create safe, healthy physical spaces, and to try to repair the psychological toll of living in a hyper-connected, yet totally sedentary world.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to sum up this massive psychological shift. Are we simply trying to buy our way out of digital burnout, just throwing money at our modern exhaustion? Or are we fundamentally, permanently evolving how we choose to live, how we build, and how we value our daily health? The data absolutely proves the trillions are moving, but how this shapes the future of human happiness, well, that is yet to be seen. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, I really encourage you to look at your own physical and mental spaces today to see exactly how the wellness economy is shaping your own life.